Well, let me see. Get an audio check first. Well, let me see. Audio works fine. Okay, you're looking at some mirroring because I've just started early to make sure this was set up properly and correctly. Let us close this. First things first, a little bit of channel business to take care of. Doug, I was wrong. It did redirect. It just took it a minute to get here. Apparently because of my system, I don't know. So my apologies to you on that. Appreciate the redirect as always. Hopefully it'll help my channel to continue to grow a little bit as well. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, today we're going to talk about Daily Davinci. Thus the name, hence, thus, whatever you want to call it, the name, Daily Davinci Debacle. Almost said Rebacle. Oh, it's going to be one of those type days. So, first things first, I'm going to go ahead and open up a untitled project because this is just going to be probably a throwaway tutorial, as it generally is. And we're going to come down here to the settings down here, and we're going to set it to 30 frames per second, and we're going to save that. Something I've been wanting to do for a while, I'll just go ahead and do it now, is I'm going to go in here to Preferences, and I'm going to go to System, Memory and GPU. That's not going to be it. Let's go to Video and Audio Input Output, and Video in and out. There's no capture device, there's no monitor. I'm not seeing what I'm looking for, so let's go to decode options. I don't see it there. Video plugins. That is probably really not needed, but it's kind of there by default. Go to control panels, not seeing it there. It's not going to be in here. Go to general. And I don't see anything in there. So let's go over to user. Go through these real quick. This needs to not say, this is wrong actually, but I don't see the option for English in there anywhere. So English is as close as I can get. So I'm going to go into here. I want to do want that, I do want that. I don't see what I'm looking for. I do want it to go to there. Editing. But I'm looking to see if I can default my 24 seconds to 30 frames per second. And that way I don't have to go in there and always do that. But I'm not seeing that anywhere. So enough of that. Let's move on, shall we? From time to time I'm going to glance over. Oh, you know what I don't have? Oops. An oops moment. I do not have this. Tony Wallow starts us off with a $4.99 super chat to the channel. Thank you so much, Tony. I so appreciate that. Beyond the words that I can come up with my little country high school brain to show my appreciation. Darren Gilholm says, hi, Ken. Alice, or Al J, says hello. I believe she lives in Singapore. I think I've concluded that. I don't know for sure. Jeff Ryman says, I've opened a monitor store. Well, not really. What he's referring to is I promise we will get to some Davinci here in a minute. He is referring to, okay, this right here. I watched a video this morning from Casey Ferris, who interviewed a guy from Puget Systems who makes computers up in Washington. And this is part of their setup on how they test. The first thing that caught my eye was the 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 16, 17, count the laptop, 18 different monitors. And then I jokingly said that he said, I'm starting a monitor store. No, this is to promote my new desk that I built based off of William Dawson's recommendation. little tongue-in-cheek, if you will. You know, the Apple symbol. Poking fun at both myself and myself. So that's what that was about. Let's get on to Davinci, shall we? So the first things we want to do is I want to go grab something to work with. And I don't recall if I put this in here or not. Shoot, it doesn't look like I did. These are all in my power bins soundtracks that I've used in the past that I tend to use a lot. So I just put them in there. I'm going to go grab the one I want, which I'm pretty sure is in Davinci. And it might be in background music. Here again, might be and being are two different things. And then the other thing is I got to remember which one it was. Drawing a blank right now. As you know, this is not practiced or rehearsed or anything else. This is the real deal, so to speak. Oh, you were on vacation. Okay, got it. Alice says she was on vacation in Singapore. Okay, I'm going to do this a different way. I'm going to cancel this because I'm lazy. And I'm going to go open up a different Davinci by going to the Home tab. And I'll just open up the April Fool's letter. Don't care to save the project, because all I want to do is I want to go look to see the name of the song, and the song is I'm having Doug issues. Dan hit him. We're going to look at the location. So we're going to open the file location, and it shows it being in background music. I just couldn't remember the name of it. So I'm going to now close this because I don't want that. Can I just close this? I cannot just close. Yeah, I can close this, which should bring me back to an untitled project, which I have to go back and do 30 frames. And I don't have to do this. It's just good habit for me to stay with it. Go back over here. Go into Davinci. Scroll up to Project Music. And we're looking for Doug Henning. There it is. And we're going to open it. As you know, you can drop and drag it. There's several different ways you can do it. Just got a message from Chris Garrett. Since this is video or audio, it opens down here. I'm going to close the media pool. So the other night I mentioned, as I have mentioned several other times, I want to figure out a way to change the audio. Well, you can change the volume by highlighting it, making sure the red box is around it, going to the inspector, and you can you can lower the volume or raise the volume right here. That's one way of doing it. So I'm going to put that back to normal, which is right there. That's going to be extremely loud. So if I were to play this, I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. If you can, you're hearing it from the microphone. So it's not going out as a source. Matthew Barnes says, hey, Ken, if the thumbnail of the video new setup, I will be going back to the studio. I was in there this morning kind of getting an idea of what I want to do. I think I'm going to compromise with Mrs. K on the studio, and we'll put the dresser back in here, but I won't put the mattresses out into the garage because it's a compromise. She agreed to that, put the dresser in here, so I'll compromise that. Going back to this, so I recently learned that you can come into here and you can put your mouse over the line and you can adjust the volume here. This is another way to adjust it. You can raise it up or down, and you'll notice in the inspector it is showing the numbers moving 9.38 up to 0, 1.17. That's all fine and dandy, that's good. But what if I wanted to have it start out, let's just say normal, and then it drop down, and then all of a sudden it pop back up and be really loud? So how do I do that? Well, I come in here and I find this line, which is called the gain line. I did not know that until recently. And I'm going to press the Alt button and left click, and I put a marker there. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put a marker right here. And I'm going to come over here and put a marker right there. I guess by now you get the point. You can put markers just about anywhere you want. That's today's show. Thanks for watching. If I play through this now, you'll notice that it will be different volumes. Wait, that didn't work. Okay, hold on. What did I do wrong? Oh, silly me. So the markers are keyframes. I want to grab the keyframe. I can move this keyframe anywhere I want. Okay? So I'm going to try to grab the keyframe and bring it back out. Oh, this will be fun. I can't do that. So let's Control Z that back to where I can see it. I want this keyframe to be really low. So I'm going to bring it down to there. And you can see there's a line between this keyframe to the next keyframe. And it's going to be extremely quiet. Now at this keyframe, I want this to be really loud. So now I'm going to go back to this one, and I want it to be low until it gets to that point of right there. And I'm just eyeballing this. Then I'm going to go get this keyframe, and I'm going to move it back to here, and I'm going to bring it back down to about right there. And I'll go grab this one, and we're going to bring it up to about there. Now I'm going to bring it down to about there. And we'll take this one and we'll make it there. I'm going to add a keyframe right here. I'm going to lower that down to here. And we're going to go with that. I have no idea what this is going to sound like. This is just me adding keyframes to see what it's going to go like. So let's do that. Here we go. Hopefully you can hear it. Let me know by putting something in chat if you can hear it. Because if you can't hear it, then this is all for naught. And I don't have OBS where I can see what's going on. Okay, here we go. So I could hear it. According to the mixer, I do believe you could hear it, but I don't know that I necessarily trust the mixer or not. But it did exactly what it was supposed to do. It was silent. For 30 frames per second, open settings set to 33 dots set to as default preset. Okay, thank you, Wintermute. I will do that. And as you can tell, it's now coming back up. Now, right, Jeff says barely. Came through just fine for me. The loudness and quietness. Right. So, and that thank you, Long Dog. Thank you, Jeff. That's what this demonstration is about, is all about. Instead of having, so let's stop this for a moment and let's just go add another one down here in the second audio track. And then let's bring this up a little bit so I can bring this down so we can see it. So you can see the differences in the tracks. If I were to play this now, that's going to be all kind of messed up. I can actually hear both tracks playing. That's not anything special. I'm a trained professional. I'll wait for the comments. Anyway, I've always wanted to do that. Okay, and I did a really poor job of getting this one here what I wanted it to be. I really want to highlight the screen itself. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so I can see it. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. you can manipulate the timeline with this slider right here to make it as little or as big as you need it to be to see what you're doing. So I'm going to grab this one, maybe. Let's get that out of the way. And go there. And then there's my screen. So I want to bring this line down to about the scream itself. And then I want that scream to be loud. And then I want to grab this one and bring it down to here, but I want it to be, you can't go past obviously a keyframe. Just demonstrated that, so that'll work. Let's bring that to there. So now if we play this, it should be, the scream should be pretty loud, and that's what I was going for. I got the scream. I can make the scream probably a little bit louder if I come in here and do that. And then I want the scream to just basically end here. So we're going to go to there. And I've got some work to do because I want the scream to be loud. I'm focusing on that. So with a little bit of adjustments, I honestly feel I can probably get this to do what I want it to do. So let's go test winter mute, theory out here in just a second. But before I do that, I want to go grab some media, and I want to go into Davinci. I want to go into thumbnails. Everything's a thumbnail now. Now I have them using the alphabet. I got to stop trying to use big words. I have my Doug project, and we're going to use this photo right here. We're going to drag it down to the timeline. We're going to put it right. Oh, don't go there. Silly me. And put it. You see, I tried to put it in an audio track, and it automatically put it up here in a video track because, after all, it is a media, video, photo, whatever you want to call it. So then I want to bring this to about there. Then if I do this, maybe this will line up, maybe it won't. So for me, just eyeballing it, that's pretty good. That lined up really good. You can see kind of what I'm trying to accomplish with the camaraderie, humor, poking fun back at one another that Doug and I have. If I can find some decent sound bites to match up with some of his expressions, then that's going to be good, I'm hoping. So let's give that a shot. We're going to go in here, we're going to open up. Oh yes, let's go with my favorite recent video of, it's got to get loaded in, when he says, I am right. Enough of that. Not going to beat that dead horse. So I'm going to close it. I want to say I tried this once before. We're going to open the project, go to settings, gear, winter mute pointed us out, go to 30. I guess we go to the 3-dot menu now. Current setting, set current settings as default preset. So we're going to do that. The preset will replace your current settings. You can't undo this section. That's fine. Now I want to save it, I'm guessing. Now to test that theory, let's just close Davinci completely out. I don't want to, well, let's go out on a limb here and say we saved it as a preset, and hopefully that'll do that. Longduck says, another thing I'm learning is you're using something like synthesized sound you can use. No, that's not synthesized at all. That came out of YouTube's suggested library for content creators. Allegedly, it's copyright free. I haven't looked yet this morning to see if it actually is or isn't. And give it 24 hours before I check it to see. Brian is saying something. He gets a copyright indication, strike notice or whatever within 2 or 3 hours. I don't know. So now we set that as 30 frames per second. So we're going to open up this one. We're going to go check the settings. And it is 30 frames per second, so that's a time saver because I do everything in 30 frames per second. It's just me. You don't have to do things in 30 frames per second. It is just me. I don't have really much else, and we've been about 41 minutes. Let me go see if there's anything I've done recently. The Easter egg thing we got, you guys have seen the trailer. This is for Ghetto, Firefox buffering. I think this is the one I want. Yeah, let's go with this one. I think. That's the one thing I got to work on. Hello, Mr. Akish. We're going to change your name to Bob. Hello, Bob. I'm horrible with names, and I really need to get better at it. So, y'all have seen this. I'm still working on this. This is just something, basically, it's all the homies, and it says the Zoom homies, and you guys rotate around. And it's only 15 seconds in length, and I was working on the audio volume was just a little bit too loud for me, so I lowered it as best I could. I don't want the music to be the emphasis or the focus. I want this to be. There's still a hiccup, but I got to figure out why it's hiccuping. So that was just one little project I'm working on. I'm still basically what I'm doing now is I'm going in here and I'm opening up a project. Then I go grab, well, you gotta have media. Well, or do you? Do you have to have media? Well, you don't have to have media. Let's say I want to work with titles and I want to work with the text plus title. Okay, wants to be a pain in my neck. Then I close that, close that, close that, and we come in here, put it over there. You don't have to do that. You can move this to there, and we come in here and we go some text, basic stuff. You can change the font right here to whatever you want. This null shuck's pretty cool. I go through here and change it from time to time. Let's just go with nonfiction 5, and you get the choice of regular or regular. I think I'll go with regular. And you can change the side, grabbing the slider, or coming over here and using it over here. You can space the letters out with tracking. And if you had more than one line, let's just say you had some more text, then you can come down here to the line spacing and you can space it apart like that. I haven't really seen the need to use that yet, but it's there. And as always, we can change the color of the text. And you probably can't see that because that's what I thought. I'm in the way. And we can change the entire text by going here, and we'll just go with this gaudy, ugly yellow color. Nothing personal. If you guys like the color yellow, cool. What if I wanted to change every other letter though? Well, to do that, we go into Fusion. We open Fusion, and then monkey see, monkey do. Everybody always highlights that and bring it over here, as do I. And I'm going to put this over here in viewer number 2. Viewer number 1, or viewer number 1, viewer number 2. Then I'm going to open this up by double clicking it. First I'm going to highlight it. There we go. Right now I can change all the color. If I come in here and I change the color, it's going to change it to this. We'll just demonstrate it with some ugly blue, purple. There we go. That changes it there. If we go back to the timeline, it's going to be there. Go back into Fusion, it's going to be there. But what if I wanted to change individual letters? Right click in your text box, character level styling. Now I can do that. Click on modifiers, let's just say I wanted to change the O. Let's just say I wanted that O to be bright red. Now it's bright red. Let's just say I wanted this O to be bright red as well. And we go down there and we use bright red. Pretty easy to do. I should just leave it 2 O's. That way it would be OO. Get it? Filipino joke there. Really? I better stop with the Filipino jokes, or pretty soon it's not going to be text, it's going to be my X. So there you go, pretty simple. And then you can do the same thing in here. This is highlighted so I can change the size. Oh, that is interesting. There we go. I was like, I know I can change that size. You can change the tracking as well. Now what if I changed just one? What if I wanted to just move the E? Oh, that's interesting. What if I just wanted to change the X? Oh, it's in relationship to the T. So then if I change this, let's go, it's still in relationship to the X and the, that probably is based off of the anchor for horizontal. What if we changed it to left or right? That's just moving it. What if we changed it to, that didn't change anything. Interesting. I guess I could grab this. Oh, that's the whole thing. That's not going well. Again, let's see what this does. I'll change this. I want to track it. No, it's still there. Didn't change a thing. Anyway, that's it. I am going to go ahead and wrap this up. We're coming up on a half hour. I like to keep everything right around the half hour. I would venture to say, and maybe my next Daily Davinci Debacle will be on, I'm venturing to say I can come in here and highlight this letter. I can come up here to shading. I can take the shading down, or I can make it hollow. And I can change the shading color to a different color, as well as I can probably come in here and find where I can rotate it on the x-axis forward and backwards. I can rotate it on the y-axis left and right. I can rotate it on the z-axis like this. So I could really have, if I were creative, I could really have fun with this. I could come in here and we'll put all these back to 0 just by double clicking on the word. And at the 0, oh, I don't see where I can keyframe this. I should be able to keyframe this. Why I can't? Maybe it's in transform. I still can't keyframe it. Okay, why can't I keyframe this? I should be able to keyframe. I should be able to keyframe this. I'm just going to skip forward. This is the 40th frame. And I'll bet you it changes it. And, well, I mean, it changes it there. Go to 110. And go backwards. Let's see if that works. My guess is it's not going to. It did not, because it's not keyframed. Okay, that's enough of that debacle. I want to thank everyone for being here. Again, Tony Wallow, thank you so much for your $4.99 contribution to the channel. I so appreciate that. Darren was here. Alice was here. Bobby Warren said, hey, Ken. Didn't see him. Tim Tech said, hey. Didn't see him. Hello, Bobby. Hello, Tim. Sorry I missed you guys. Sam says hi. Hello, Sam. Matthew Barnes was here. If the thumbnail's a video, yeah. It's only going to be 4 monitors. So there you have it. That ends today's Long Dog Jeff. Thank you. John Williams, thank you very much. John's trying to have some lunch, boy. That's probably hard to stomach. Daily Davinci Debacle with lunch. If I've missed you, Long Dog, thank you. Mr. Akilish, official 2025, thank you again for showing up. I do appreciate your support. He and I support one another. That's what it's all about. I think that'll wrap it up. I don't see anything new coming through on chat. So see everybody tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Oh, that's still running, but even though it's not doing anything. for the Ken Stout Live with the Zoom Homie Show, the Zoom Homies with Ken Stout Live. So, thank you. Have a good afternoon. I'm enjoying the thunderstorms. I gotta go find the right button on one of these. I gotta get back to my normal studio. Uh-oh. Wrong button. Okay. This is going great. That's probably going to be a blooper. That's all I like to say. That's a blooper. Thanks, guys. Have a great afternoon.